How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. And in this video we have a ton of stuff to talk about because the brand new BB update has gone live in Battlefront 2. So we now have BB-8 and BB-9E as playable heroes, we have sequel era capital supremacy, we have a bunch of hero changes and some general changes that are both good and bad. So we're going to discuss all of it in detail in this video and weigh up my thoughts and what this all means for Battlefront 2 going forward. Now, if you guys are enjoying the videos lately, then be sure to drop a like to show your support and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And be sure to let me know down in the comments below what you think of the two new heroes. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Or are you in between? Let me know. But anyway, let's move on into this as, like I said, there is a lot to get through today. So first off, let's talk about the two new heroes, BB-8 and BB-9E. Now, there is a lot to discuss with these two new heroes. I really don't know where I stand with them yet, if I'm honest. I think mechanically, DICE done an amazing job with these two heroes. They both play really smooth, and rolling around the place it feels breezy and fluent. They can jump too, which is kind of cool and is something that I recommend you do a lot when using these two heroes. And they both can actually dodge, which I was very surprised with. But are they actually good? I think BB-8 is pretty good. You know, he's fairly attacking, and his cable spin, I think it's actually a pretty insane ability. It's pretty powerful, and so far I felt like he is very reliant on it for getting kills. His rolling charge ability works basically exactly like Han's shoulder charge, and his resistance backing ability provides the wall hacks that, we love. So overall, I think BB-8 is not too bad. Once you get his star cards upgraded, I can actually see him being, a little bit of a menace. But can he 1v1 Darth Vader? I guess he could, but the Vader player would have to be a pretty average player. But when it comes to blast heroes, I think BB-8 can actually hold his own quite well because he is so small and fast, he is really hard to hit. Like, if you thought that Yoda was hard to hit, you're in for a shock when you try and shoot BB-8, so I actually think BB-8 overall is pretty decent. Now, as for BB-9E, I don't feel as much love for. BB-9E is probably one of the more undeserving heroes in Battlefront 2, like, he shouldn't really be a hero if I'm honest. But regardless of that, BB-9E is very support based, probably a little bit too much in my opinion. BB-8 is the better of the two if you ask me, like, it's clear as day, BB-8 is well above BB-9E. But BB-9E does have a smoke screen ability which is self-explanatory and, it's okay. His charge up ability again is majorly focused on support, and his shock spin ability is virtually the same as BB-8's cable spin, but I don't think it's as good. Having said that, you do get the perks of being really small and really fast, but if a lightsaber hero especially targets you, you're kind of screwed. There really isn't much that you can do. But if you want to just support your team and not really try and get kills, or you're happy to accept death when most heroes approach you, then BB-9E is probably good for you. So I think BB-8, like I said, is easily the better of the two new heroes. BB-9E, he's way too support based, and with the way Battlefront 2 works, particularly in Heroes vs Villains, it's just not ideal. But overall, between the two new heroes, I think this was a risky experiment for DICE, and I don't think it's quite the masterstroke they were hoping. These two heroes are fun to use, don't get me wrong, but they aren't going to make big impacts on the battlefront like basically all the other heroes can. Now, this kind of makes me wonder why they're actually considered heroes, because, I think they would actually fit in as reinforcements perfectly, but, they just don't give me those hero vibes. But I mean, that's just my first impressions, don't get me wrong, I like the Roly Boys, but it's not the masterstroke decision by DICE that people were hoping for. But as we progressively upgrade star cards, I think that, these two could be quite good, especially BB-8. I think he's actually going to be really good once you get the star cards on him. But anyway, like I said, there's a lot of fun to be had here, and it's a unique experience to use these two new heroes. I'd say a 7 out of 10 is a fair rating for the two new heroes. But now, moving on, let's talk about sequel Era Supremacy. It is in Battlefront 2, we finally have an alternate era option for the highly popular large-scale game mode, and I am really happy with it. I actually think that sequel Era Supremacy is amazing. It's just been so much fun to play on pre-existing maps that have been altered on the ground phase, then transitioning up to the ship phase in the 2 brand new capital ship maps. These 2 new capital ships are fantastic. They might need a little bit of balancing fixes, but that's just about to be expected when they're brand new. But they both look excellent, and it's a massive breath of fresh air to play this game mode with the 2 new capital ship interiors to explore. And when you combine that with the new era options, it's just all good fun. Clone Wars Capital Supremacy, it had gotten really stale for me as it was the only era on offer for ages and it just got boring. But this has really freshened it up for me, playing as like Rey, Kylo, BB-8, BB-9E, even Finn and Phasma. It's nice to play as different heroes on this mode. And I'll be perfectly honest, I kind of forgot this was actually in this update because I was just so fixated on the 2 new heroes, so when I remembered that this was actually a thing, I was like, yeah, this update is actually pretty damn amazing. So sequel Era Supremacy, DICE absolutely nailed it, and I can't wait for Original Trilogy Supremacy as well. This mode does have a ton of potential. Sure, it's not the seamless Supremacy experience that we all want, but Supremacy with the new sequel edition is a job well done, and it's a nice extra option. But now touching on Supremacy and all that, Galactic Assault has been removed from the multiplayer front screen and put into a subsection of the menu. Now, this basically just emphasizes DICE's abandonment of Galactic Assault, and that kind of sucks. While Supremacy is cool and the additions of all eras is just going to be awesome, Galactic Assault should not be getting swept to the side like it is. It's still personally my favorite game mode, and I am going to make damn sure I use my reach to make enough noise so that DICE hears. They cannot sweep Galactic Assault under the rug like it's nothing. It is arguably the best game mode in Battlefront 2, and it is getting no attention and is just getting completely ignored, and it's not okay. But yeah, apart from that, DICE absolutely nailed this section of the new update, but again, just don't sweep Galactic Assault under the rug, man. It's too good. But now moving on, as for a few of the other things brought into this update, first let's talk about the hero changes. I've had a little bit of playtime with Anakin and Palpatine, who were both nerfed with this update. Anakin, the changes aren't severe at all. Like, I've said it a million times, what's OP about Anakin is his ability loop, and that hasn't changed. So Anakin is still very powerful despite the nerf, which is exactly what I expected, to be honest. Like I said, they were nerfing the wrong thing the entire time. But Palpatine, on the other hand, doesn't seem to be as much of a pest anymore, so that's a really great change and is definitely going to be less of a headache from here on out, which is great to see. Now also, I didn't actually know that this was coming, but there are a ton of new animations for the heroes with their intro screens. Rey has one where she catches the lightsaber, Vader has a different one as well, and Bosk does too, and a few of the other ones as well. I'm not really sure exactly which ones do, but they all look really good, and seeing these when I booted the game up, it was a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Now also, there are 2 new emotes added to Kylo Ren and Finn. Kylo's I actually really like, and touching on emotes, a lot of people are saying that the BB-8 and BB-9E emotes and victory poses are bugged, but they are not. You have to do them with challenges, so depending on what one you're after, be sure to check out the challenges, and the same goes for Kylo and Finn's emotes as well. But now let's talk about Darth Vader for a second. His changes in this update were like a major talking point, and I honestly think that the changes to Vader's choke animation have made him even more powerful. Is he OP? It's debatable, but the changes undeniably have made Vader better. He can block and attack with the new choke, but he still moves quite slow, so it's not as big of a change as I thought it might have ended up being. But it's still a very good change nevertheless, and I'm really glad that they've done this with Vader. Now also, Ajan Kloss was added to Hero Showdown. I personally don't play Hero Showdown, but that's definitely a big up for those who do, and I thought I'd just mention it here for those who maybe didn't know. But now let's move on and talk about some of the issues with this update. And the only real issue that I have encountered was in a match of Supremacy, and I'll roll the footage in the background. I was going in a 1v1 versus Rey as Kylo Ren, and I hit her once and she still had, like, I'm pretty sure over half her health, I believe, and then she just died. I don't know if this is some twisted ass bug or what, but if I was that Rey player, I would have been pretty pissed off, so I thought I'd bring it up in this video. If you guys are seeing the same thing, be sure to let me know. Now, there's also been some minor hit registration issues that I encountered in Heroes vs Villains, but nothing too crazy, just the usual really. And apart from that, I think everything has actually been working pretty well with this new update. Normally, a big update like this creates a ton of issues, but I think we've actually gotten off fairly easy with this update, which is really good to see. So moving on, there were a ton of other changes brought in with this update that I'm not going to go over individually, as I would literally be here all day. But I would say that this update is a major success. The two heroes, DICE didn't quite knock it out of the park, but they do play smooth, and BB-8 is definitely much better than BB-9E. But they can be fun, but as a hero, I don't know if they're powerful enough to be considered one. BB-8 probably is, but BB-9E, not so much. And as for Supremacy, like I said, the sequel Era edition was sorely needed and has really revitalized that game mode for me. The two new capital ship maps are fantastic, especially the Star Destroyer. That map is amazing and looks incredible. But I am a little bit annoyed at the obvious neglect to Galactic Assault by pushing it into the sub-menu. It's not a big deal when I say it like that, but if you know how much of a slap in the face that is, then you know. And also the hero changes are really good, very happy with them for the most part. Palps isn't as good anymore without being butchered, but Anakin is still very powerful because they nerfed the wrong thing. And Vader's animation change is really fun to use and definitely made Vader a little bit more powerful. So all in all, I am very happy with this new update. I think it's pretty amazing, and the few hours that I played before recording this video were a ton of fun, and I can't wait to get stuck back in and sink more hours into Supremacy and the two new heroes. Now, if I was to give this update an overall rating, I would say it deserves a solid 9 out of 10. The only thing holding this update back for me is the two new heroes. They're good, but they didn't blow me away like I was hoping. I don't know if that's my fault for having skewed expectations for a couple soccer balls or what, I don't know. But like I said, they just don't give me those hero vibes, but I mean, they're still fun. But guys, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this update. Be sure to post your thoughts, and if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do with that bell on, as I will have a hero ranking video coming out tomorrow, which will include BB-8 and BB-9E. I just want to sink a few more hours into the both of them and, get a really good grasp on where they sit. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video, guys, so thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you all again real soon.